Okay, let's look at this chart here. It's the pound USD on the 60-minute time frame. We can see some strong moves inside this area, okay, for the buy side and for the sell side. And the first thing I want you to look at this chart is where are the overall bridges. This is the first part. We will just cover this, and then we will look at the miniature bridges to see if we have money spots for us to eventually get a trade inside. Okay, pause the video and think about that. Okay, so for the overall breach, you can see that we have one here. Okay, this area here breached with some strength, pulled back, it held here. So there's not really mini territories here. Okay, the only mini territories you see here is for the buy side most of the time. So this area here eventually breaks higher. Okay, this was the max threshold. This was a faker, and then it broke higher here. And at this spot, it broke, and then we held, and we broke again, okay, from the mini picture. So we can see here that we have a mini territory at this area, okay? So at this area, we have the big boy saying buy, okay? This is operating near the breach line, which is a logical spot. And this guy here, this miniature seller, is saying sell, okay? So this would be a money spot in this area, right? So just look at this area and try to understand what are the clues that you have here that your big boy is back, actually back, okay? And if you have clues here, where would you trade? Or would you wait for this breach to go higher and then you would trade above this area? Just pause the video and think about this for a moment. Okay, so this is a trick question here, because usually we have our big boy usually wins inside the money spot, okay? We still have this kind of information to the left saying that, okay, our big boy is strong, really strong, okay? And this is an important information to start with, okay? Now, when we get to this mini territory breach, because we breached below, we pulled back deeper, but immediately after we pulled back, you can already see some struggles in the seller, because he tried to pick up steam here, but look at this wick, okay? Buyer pressure here, another buyer pressure here, seller pressure to the downside, okay? So there's a lot of fight in this area because this seller doesn't want the buyer to be there, and this buyer wants to get all the price he can down here, okay? So this is already an important information here, but this first seller here, not so strong, doesn't convince anyone, right? But then when we get to the breach line of this mini seller, what is this strength here? Like really weak, like really, really weak, right? And then this buyer shows up really strong, okay? Like something compared to the left, okay? This first buyer, strong. So this could be our big boy coming back. So after he does all this rest, so this seller rested 100% here. After this rest, we need to give him space to do that last push. Look at this last push. Super strong down, okay? So this one, forget it. You can't pick it up because it's too risky. Okay, you didn't have the rest. You had the rest, but the test was super strong, and it was below this V. Okay, and we are still below this money spot area. And inside the money spot, we cannot figure anything else because the buyer is strong, the seller is strong. So who am I going to go along with? I don't know. Okay. Usually it's the big boy, but what if it's not? Okay. I need more information. But after that, this happens. Okay? So after this happens, even though this was the guy who started to the downside, we already have some shifts here. Okay? Because this big boy is saying buy and is challenging this guy. Okay? And from the lower time frames, from the time frames below this one, these guys are looking at this as buys. Okay? So they are not looking at this as sells, because they made their sells here and they didn't perform apart from this one, but this one couldn't go much further. Okay? So for these mini buyers here, and I'm just looking at mini, okay? Like time frame below this one, not this time frame. So for this guys, this is already a buy territory, okay? Even though from our time frame this is a sell, okay? Still a sell. But look at the performance of the sellers. You think this seller is still here around? I don't think so. Especially when you have this kind of information, your big boy is going that way, your big boy is challenging that guy up there, and that guy is nowhere to be found. Okay? So any place here where you see this struggle, any place here that you see the buyers coming back to life is a good place to place your trade. Okay? Even though it's really high in the skies, okay? If you pick something that is closer to this area, okay, this money spot area, it's a good place to pick up your trade, to go up from there, okay? Inside this money spot, we couldn't figure out anything, okay? I hope you liked all of these examples on the money spot. Remember, money spot is that place where you have both the time frame and the trading time frame and the big boy time frame battling each other, okay? The sellers and buyers trying to figure out what is the move, okay? And we can see here there's a lot of indecision here, okay? Up until this point. After the buyer does this, okay, that's something else. All right? Cheers.